Hi guys, welcome back to Point Blank Dev. In this tutorial, we are going to be looking at control structures. Now, there are times whereby you want certain conditions to be executed if they are true or false. Or maybe you want to test one variable over another. For example, you have two numbers, you want to test if one of them is greater than another, and then you want to say something if they are greater or lesser than the other. So we can simply do that by just, let's say, program, and I'm going to call my program, I'm going to name my program control structures. That's okay. Now I'm going to say input, output. I'm going to declare my variables. I'm going to say num1 and num2, and they are all going to be integers. Note integer, not integers. They are all integers though, but you use the keyword integers. Okay, use the keyword integer, not integers. So I'm going to begin my program here. I'm going to say, now we want to test if num1 is greater than num2. If num1 is greater than num2, then we want to say num1 is greater. But if num1 is not greater than num2, we want to say that is not true, that is a lie. You're lying to us. Num1 is not greater. So we can simply do that by using the if condition of the if statement. But before we do that, let's make the program or the compiler understand what is num1 or num2. How are we going to get num1 and num2? What methods are we going to use? Are we going to assign values to them now, or are we just going to read the values from the user by allowing the user input the values they want? Okay, I think we'll just assign them. And we're going to say that num1 is equal to, let's say, 90, and then num2 is equal to 80. Now we want to check if num1 is greater than num2. Then we simply want to say something. We simply just want to say that is true, num1 is greater. So we can do that by just coming down here and we say right line, my keyboard is so bad, right line, and say that is true, that is true, num1 is greater. So let's end our program here and see something. Let's save and then try to quick compile. Now we are seeing that because it has already been running. So in order to make it run or stay, let's say read line, just add it to make no change, just make the output come out. That is true, num1 is greater. You can see because num1 is 90 and num2 is 80. Now it has tested, there is a test here. If num1 is greater than num2, then right line. This is straightforward. But what if it is not greater? We're simply going to say else. Okay, we are simply going to say else, right line, That is not true. My keyboard, why is so stiff? That is not true. Num1 is not greater. Let's save. Let's close this. Let's run again. Now the S is passing an error. Else we want to do something. Else there's a then. It's been long since I wrote my Pascal program. What's wrong? It's been long since I wrote a Pascal program. Let me see what's wrong. Okay, but there is another way we can still do that. We can do that by saying if num1 is not greater than num2. Okay, if it is not greater than num2, then we want to write line. It is not true. It is not greater. But is this actually true? Num1 is actually greater than num2. So we are not supposed to be saying this here. So I think the reason for that is we have to exit. So I'm going to add a begin here and then an end here. Notice that this end, the end here, indent my stop so that it will look. Notice that the end here is with a semicolon and this one is with a full stop, because this one is of the main program and this one is of a condition. So we just want to exit. So if we notice that this one too is like that, we simply want to end. Then we'll simply exit. So let me run my program again and see what we have. Execution start. Run. Oops. See, it's actually exiting. So, but what I want to do here is I just want to get this, copy this. I'm going to add it here. I'm going to add it here. Let me run my program again and see. True. Now you can see a true value. That is true. Num1 is greater. Oh my god, num1 is greater. So when I come here and then I say 30, I come back, I close this, I run my program again. That is not true. Num1 is not greater. Okay, num1 is not greater. Let me explain the reason why I added an exit here. Now, this is the way Pascal compiles or executes your program. When it's executing, it's coming. It's a top-down approach. It's coming down, coming down, coming down. Now, if it does not meet this exit, it will print out this statement that is true. Num1 is greater, and it will still go further to print this one. So, but I want that anytime this condition is executed, we don't want this one to get executed. That's why we use the function here or the method exit. So, but if it is not true, it will exit, or if it is true, to get executed and stopped. So, when this one is true, while this one is false, this one will get executed. When any of them is true, one will be executed. But we did this program in such a way that one will be true and one will be false. so that the one that is true get executed. So what if we don't want to assign the values here, just as we did? We just want the users to input the values themselves and then check for the test. So now we can simply do that by, let's remove this 2 here. Now we have to read the values. We have to read line. Now let me explain something. We have to read line num1. Instead of coming down here to say read line, instead of coming down here to say read line num2, you see we are consuming space and time. For me to save time and space, I'm not going to say read line, I'm going to say read. Then I'm going to say num1 and num2. Okay, I'm going to say num1 and num2. So, but this is how I want to read the 2 of them at once. But we don't want to read the 2 of them at once. We just want to read one at a time. I'll just tell you, or the program will just tell you, enter the first number you enter, and then to tell you enter the second number. But if we say read, and we'll read the 2 of them at once, when you enter the first number, the second number, understand? But let's test it out. It's still going to work. Okay, and then let's just tell the users a message here. Let's just write a line and say enter 2 values, enter 2 numbers for your check. Now it is assumed that the user wants to check if one of the numbers he entered is greater than another. That's why I'm using enter 2 numbers for your check. So let's run and see. Enter 2 numbers for your check. But enter 2, enter 4. Oops. I'm going to add here read line. Enter 6, enter 7. Okay. What's wrong? Okay, if I run it again, let's see what's happened. Okay, I think I'll have to add something called continue. Let me run this again and see. Oops, it doesn't work outside here. So let's run this and see. Enter 2 numbers for a check. I'm going to enter 90 and 99. That is not true. Num1 is not greater than, it's not greater. That is not true. Num1 is not greater. That is amazing. Now we have seen 2 different ways in which we can check whether or not a number is greater than another. We can actually do that by assigning them by saying num1 is equal to this number, num2 is equal to this number. Or we can simply do this, read the numbers. Okay. Now I want to introduce you to the case statement. Let me get rid of all of these. No, but because of time, I'm just going to stop here. So guys, this is it for this tutorial, and then I hope to see you in the next class. I'm so much happy you made it up to this class. We are making some progress because some people are messaging me on my WhatsApp telling me the progress they have been making throughout the course. So I'm really happy for your feedback. Just add a thumbs up, like, share, subscribe, tell people about the channel, the video you've watched, how it has helped you even in school or at your workplace, anywhere. Just share the story, and then I hope to see you in the next class.